All right, next one is the esoteric Hindu goddess Uma.
Yes. So Uma is a very ancient Hindu goddess, and first time that we know of her in a written form. So, there's also a longer tradition, oral tradition, right? Because by the time the culture started to write down things from 1000 BC or BCA, before Christ. And she is also known as the goddess that explained the nature of the universe to the other gods.
Wow.
And to humanity, but actually she was the teaching goddess there, so to speak. By teaching, it is like a god, other gods would ask her questions and she would say, well, this is how it works. So she was explaining the nature of the universe, but we know of her very little because she is so ancient, and then later in Hindu scriptures, her part was reversed. So she changed into Shakti. So she was asking questions to Shiva. Do you understand? So they put Shiva on top. But originally it was Uma who was giving the answers.
Mm.
Do you understand? But was this
Yes,
reversal?
yeah.
So she's this first goddess that I ever came across, but she's the one that, well, I will tell you how the universe works, basically, right? So ask me. No, she's not there to show, from what I know. Right? She's not there to show her knowledge, but they said, Goddess Uma, what do you think about that? It's kind of teacher-disciple. And then she says, well, since you asked, right, I'm going to tell you how the universe is structured.
As you talk about her, I'm getting zzz.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So I see her like processing this higher level of information, but we know very little about her, so I'm really curious, what you came up with, right? Because there are all kinds of projections also on goddesses, right?
So here, and this is, I think today's episode also is going to clarify what is truly the goddess, fully embodiment of goddess frequency. And then we're all gods and goddesses. And this is, I think, the most important message for humanity, for those that are listening, that it's not about worshiping somebody, but really connect and worship yourself, right?
Because we're all
yes.
God carriers, right?
Yes. But now, information about Uma. She has identical frequencies to Mary Magdalene and Helen of Tyre, identical.
Amazing.
So this is why I say this is the true embodiment of that. Avatar, 1000 frequency, all the numbers are identical, 13th dimension at 100%. So everything that we just revealed to you about Helen of Tyre and the Mary Magdalene, as we mentioned, this is identical blueprint.
That's fantastic, because this is how, my research basically confirms that I see her almost like sitting there and her head is like in a different dimension, because she has access to knowledge that even other lesser gods, who incarnated on lower levels, didn't know. And she says, well, since you ask, okay, this is how it is. But very compassionate that she's not showing off her knowledge, and she answers only, questions. Okay, since you really want to know, divine consciousness works like that. Since you really want to know, this is the structure of the universe. So she conveys knowledge there. So she almost, when you see this ancient Hindu depictions of deities sitting and there is a light coming out of her head, this is how I always imagine her, that she was not, I don't know if it's possible, because you're really experts in this, but almost like barely embodied, like she was really in a different dimension. She was just able to communicate with us and somehow physically.
That's possible.
Yes. And then the part where you described how she will answer the question, whatever she was being asked, it matches that frequency, to where it's just,
it's just being.
Right. Allowing everyone to have their own experience without forcing anything, right?
That's right. And this is what also, thank you, Alejandro, and this is what Elena said, which was very astute. So unlike Isis especially, or Hathor, she's like, worship me, I have all of this charisma, right? She just, she's completely uninterested in like personal worship. She like Nimna or like, Helen from your readings, or like Mary Magdalene, I'm here to help, like.
Yes.
I'm here to be an example of light.
That's right.
Wisdom, true wisdom.
Yes.
and illuminate all. Yes.
And right now is 1 hour and 11 minutes. 111.
Wonderful.
Yeah, he's here.